please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Welcome back. Now, Power Grid managed to gain in today's trading action. IS Jha, CMD of the company, spoke to us earlier in the day and assuaged investor concerns regarding a slowdown in ordering by the company.
The project was to be commissioned in financial year 2021. We have planned 50,000 crore projects. Out of these 50,000 crore projects, the last year we have already awarded 28,000 crores. 17,000 to 20,000 crores will award in this year. So that makes it total 50,000. We are not targeting year to year. Even if you see the 12th plan also, the maximum award took place 1 year before, because project like 20,000 we have awarded in 11-12, and the 12-13 it has come down to 16,000, and the further 13-14 came down to 10,000. Because the more delay you award, more you miss the project. We have the capex plan of 25,000 crore in this year, and we have reached to 12,000 year about.
Well, the other stock in focus today was Biocon. It had a strong day of trade after the US FDA issued a response on the company's biosimilar drug, asking the company for some more information. The management has told us that they're quite confident that the response letter will not have any material impact on the commercial launch timelines for the drug pegfilgrastim.
The facility modifications that we undertook were part of the corrective and preventive actions that we had communicated to the FDA in response to the audit. The FDA so far has neither indicated the requirement for a reinspection, nor have they said that they need any further corrective actions beyond what we have already previously committed to them. As part of our facility modifications, we had to requalify the facility. That is work in progress. That is an ongoing activity, and that activity was not completed by the target action date. So we expect to complete that, and once we complete that, we need to furnish that information to the FDA. Encouraging part is that there is no requirement for additional data related to any of the process or clinical or immunogenicity or any of those other technical aspects.
All right, moving on. Sun Pharma Advanced Research was one stock in focus yesterday. It saw lots of selling pressure after its new drug under development, baclofen, failed to meet phase 3 clinical trials. The management spoke to analysts yesterday, calling this a big setback, and spoke about some of the options in the resolution that they're working with.
This is certainly a setback for all of us. While it is indeed a dampener, we also realize that this is the nature of our business. We need to stay focused and execute on our portfolio. We have several important and potentially valuable programs at various stages of clinical development. From a cash flow standpoint, an outcome like this will certainly impact our ability to prosecute the clinical agenda fully. We may have to look at partnering some of our products earlier than our current plan. Expected cash flows from this program were important to us in the medium term, 12 to 18 months. We will review our program priorities and cash flows very closely in the coming weeks to understand our options and take important resource allocation decisions. There are two programs which are linked to remediation at Halol, which can give us early shots at cash flow, which, as you know, is Celtros and Ellipsia. Take a 12 to 18 month horizon from a cash flow expectation standpoint. So, and our expectation is that either way, these programs should work out. And from a clinical data acceptance standpoint, the complete response letters did not set any ask in terms of additional data. So in that sense, as soon as we can have the facilities shifted, they are revenue opportunities, and we already out-licensed them, and there are incremental revenue opportunities there. We were expecting milestone payments coming from baclofen in both financial year 18 and also in financial year 19. So we may probably look at resourcing our late-stage programs while selectively out-licensing some of our early-stage programs. But at the same time, this is too early to commit to any particular direction. That is one of the options that we have, and we want to look at all our options before deciding to take out a program and out-license early on, because we want to do that in a considered manner.
Moving on now, Kerala-based Kalyan Jewellers has kicked off its IPO process. We learned from sources that the Warburg Pincus-backed company is in the process of finalizing bankers for its 2,500 to 3,000 crore rupee IPO. Priya Sheth has more details. Priya.
Well, Kalyan Jewellers has finally kicked off its IPO process. In fact, what we do understand from our sources is that the company is looking at raising anywhere between 2,500 to 3,000 crore rupees through its initial public offering. Now, private equity investor Warburg Pincus has been investing in Kalyan Jewellers over the last couple of years and has invested about 1,700 crore rupees in Kalyan Jewellers so far. Now, through this IPO, Warburg Pincus could look at a partial exit is what we do understand from our sources. As of now, we understand that Kalyan Jewellers has been meeting bankers over the last week and has a couple of meetings planned with investment bankers over the next 2 weeks as well before it finalizes on who to appoint as far as this issue is concerned. Funds will be used for domestic as well as international expansion. Do remember that Kalyan Jewellers is also looking at entering into new international markets, and in fact, as far as the listing is concerned, this could happen anywhere between early or mid 2018. In fact, we did write to the company with this, and the company did say that they have not finalized any plans as far as the initial public offering is concerned, and that suggestions being made in this regard are speculative in nature. The company is focusing on consolidating its position as a trusted jewelry brand and continued expansion of their network as far as showrooms are concerned.
Okay, that was Priya on PC Jewellers, but right now let's focus on international markets. What is the road ahead for the US market? Mohammed El Arayan of Allianz expects the Federal Reserve's interest rate trajectory to be gradual and cautious, irrespective of a new chairman.
I think the Fed, for now, is on automatic pilot. It will raise interest rates whenever it has an opportunity to do so without disrupting markets. And when it comes to reducing the balance sheet, it's like watching paint dry. There's not going to be nothing exciting. It knows that if it oversteps the bound and if it hits the brake too hard, it may unwind a lot of gains. And it also has an eye on other central banks that have had an enormous influence on markets. So it does care, and it's going to go very, very carefully and gradually.
Okay, on that note, we have to take a quick break. On the other side, some of the biggest voices from the energy world, including an exclusive conversation with the biggest oil company, Saudi Arabia's Aramco CEO Amin Nasir. Amin Nasir. Welcome back. The world's largest oil exporter, Saudi Aramco, has officially launched its unit in India with a view to tap opportunities presented by the country's rapidly growing appetite for energy. In an exclusive interview with CNBC TV18's Manisha Gupta on the sidelines of the India Energy Forum, Amin Nasir, the president and CEO of Saudi Aramco, says he is interested in investing in India's downstream sector, refining, petrochemicals and fuel retailing. Here's a slice of the conversation.
Investment opportunity in India is great, mainly because of the new environment for economic growth, the new vision for New India, the Make It in India campaign with all what entails in terms of industrialization, job creation, the deregulation that is happening in the market, which makes it open playing field for everybody to compete. So it's a great market with significant growth that we have seen so far.
There are various reports on perhaps JVs incoming. There are strategic partnerships. What kind of investments and how much are you looking to spend here?
The size of the investment will come with the type of investment we decide on. Sure. But definitely we're looking at something that is integrated from we're talking about refining, petrochemical, marketing, distribution, including loops. So we are looking at something that is what we call it very integrated with our oil supply, going through the downstream and going through down the value chain. So we are open, we are discussing with so many partners in India currently. Each has a different plan, and we are currently in discussion with all of them about and hopefully we'll land on something soon.
So I also want to talk about the Saudi Aramco IPO, because that has a very keen interest from all over the world. If you could tell us on how much are you looking to raise, is there a timeline for that, and what are the kind of valuations we're looking here?
Well, all I can say about the IPO that it is on track for 2018. And that was the original plan, and it is still the same. Nothing changed about it.
That is good to know. We of course will keep an eye on that. But just coming back to India yet again, and while we are of course talking about strong growth demand going forward from here as well, what is your sense on all of this debate and upsurge of electric vehicles, and do you see that displacing that demand in any sense?
And we think, yes, definitely electric vehicles will grow and in the future, and we are seeing significant growth, that's no doubt. However, there is oil will be there for decades. As we have seen today, this year, the second quarter, almost 1.7 million barrels of demand. Earlier in the year, first quarter we were looking at 1.3, second quarter was 1.7. So there is healthy demand in the crude oil. So it is a sector that we are seeing more and more demand for it. Add to that, there is a national decline in existing fields, and you're talking about something in the neighborhood of 5%. So that is also significant and require a lot of investment. So electric vehicles will be taking part of energy requirement.
All right, now let's get to some trading ideas within the commodity universe. Tapan Patel of LKP Securities joins in. Tapan, let me start with oil. I mean, since there's so much commentary coming out of that summit in New Delhi, OPEC seems to be clearly indicating that the market is rebalancing. Anyway, what's your trading strategy on it?
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. Yes, OPEC has said that the oil market is balancing, and also Saudi Arabia also has commented that they are looking for deeper cuts in oil production. So these two factors are supporting the oil prices to trade higher, and we can expect oil prices to again rise towards $53–54. So at MCX we can expect 329.03–300 levels in near term, and buying on dip should be the strategy for the oil prices. Okay, fair enough. I see you have a positive call on silver. You're looking to buy silver. Why is that? Why not gold? Even gold prices have been fairly supported today. What's the trade on silver? Yeah, both gold and silver prices are trading firm. The gold basically have the support from geopolitical factors of North Korea and US and Turkey conflicts. So these factors are supporting the gold prices, but we can expect the prices to be limited from the upside because of the expectation of Fed rate hike. Compared to gold, we can expect more rally in silver prices because of the silver is getting support from the rise in base metal prices. So silver is looking good compared to gold prices, and we can expect 40,400 to 500 levels in silver. Okay, so that's a buy on silver. Lastly, aluminum, again a buy call over there. What's driving prices higher? See, aluminum prices are trading higher since a couple of weeks, and the main reason for rally in the prices is the production shutdown in China. So these factors are supporting the aluminum prices. Other metals like copper, zinc and lead are also trading higher, but the rally compared to them is much higher in aluminum prices. So we can expect aluminum prices to trade higher towards 141, 142 levels in near term, and buy and dip should be the strategy for the aluminum also. All right, Tapan, we'll leave it on that note. Thanks very much for joining in. Those are the commodity calls for this evening. That's a wrap on this edition of Closing Bell. Many thanks for watching. After the bell, coming up next.